community, and I'll tell you why. So we use bamboo hide as a means of, verbalizing our sustainable livelihood development. So we'll get into the kinds of work that we do with the communities now. Slide. So my goal when I started out here in the Philippines was actually as a volunteer for a community development program named Bhoolana, kind of like a Habitat for Humanity. I can see it. And my dream was to really work with communities and bamboo and to take livelihood development to the next level. So when I got this phone call, it was pretty funny. This was last year. I got a phone call and they said, hi, is this Brian from Bambike? And I said, yes, what do you like? Are you afraid of heights? And I was like, what? I've never had a phone call start like that. So they said, this is Nike, we're launching a new shoe, the Vapor Max, whatever, and we want to see if we can get you dangling off of a skyscraper with your bike. And I was like, oh, interesting. So this is kind of one of the crazy things that we've been able to accomplish, working with large brands to get our advocacy pushed forward. And so just keeping this in mind, it's elevating, community development and protecting the environment to new heights. So bike, pretty self-explanatory, bamboo bike. But revolution cycles has a deeper meaning. Revolution being the motion that the wheels take as they move, but also changing the way we do business, creating a better way to run a profitable business. That's something that I really felt strongly about, because there's so many businesses that are extracting, destroying, cutting down the environment. But we can have a revolution that's regenerating, that is working on environmental cycles. So cycles, a bicycle, but the air cycles, the water cycles, the nitrogen cycles, the carbon cycles, the natural cycles that sustain us. So it's a much deeper, more significant thing than just a handicraft bamboo bike product. We really set out to create a business model that helps people, the planet, and works towards progress. So why bamboo? Bamboo is arguably the greenest building material on the planet. It sequesters 30% more carbon dioxide than trees. It's not a tree, it's actually technically a grass. So when you cut a mature pole, more poles are shooting out constantly. Who has bamboo in their countries? USA, Alabama, we do. Canada, I was just in Canada. Some of the big ones, China, Haiti, and in Africa also we've got, do we have Ethiopia here? Okay, yeah, so there's bamboo in a lot of places all around the world. Réunion Island, French, okay, cool. Yeah, so there's a lot of bamboo all over the world. And I was just at the World Bamboo Congress in Mexico, and all of the kind of eco-bamboo nerds got together, so it's really fun, I learned a lot. So I know what kind of presentations are boring and which kind are, a little bit more engaging. I'm going to try and keep you guys entertained at the least. This was in Korea, beautiful bamboo forest. But really, so bamboo also has a lot of environmental service benefits. It has a great root system, so it holds soil very well, which prevents landslides, runoff, soil retention, really important. It also holds water in its root systems so that you can absorb rainwater and prevent stormwater runoff, which then creates flooding and all that. And it keeps, a lot of river banks stable, and a lot of good reasons why bamboo is great. Next. And then the bike. Why use a bike? This is in the Philippines. This is Rojas Boulevard near Manila Bay. I think you guys are staying not so far from here. There's one bike lane, unfortunately. Only one bike lane really that we can point out. We have a lot of infrastructure improvements to do here in Manila. But you can see congested traffic. Everybody, and I'm sure all of you, will use traffic as an excuse in one way or another almost every day. Traffic naman yan, late na ako, traffic. You're gonna hear it all the time. But with a bike, it's the most efficient means of energy transfer in any vehicle. So meaning you put one pedal in and you can go 20, 30 meters. So it's super efficient compared to any, combustion material or any kind of motorized vehicle. So I use it because it's so much faster. Here's a version of a bike that we created. It's called the Pasand Cove. That's where my family has a little beach house, and it's a beach cruiser with a bench-style seat. Because you're going to see a lot of people riding bikes, and then they have people riding on the back here. So you always see people riding on this, but it's not designed for it. So it's like, well, since everyone's doing it, let's design a bike where you can actually bring your friend along with you. Next. And so how something is done is almost as important as what you're actually doing. So what we do is we build bamboo bikes. How we do it is through social entrepreneurship. I mentioned before, people, planet, progress. Those are the core values of our company. This is our triple bottom line. And that's what we mean by sustainability. People, it's working with communities, giving them livelihood, not just a job, but something that can feed their family, something that gives them security. Planet, working with eco-friendly materials that are regenerating the ecosystems. And progress, an inclusive green economy. So where the company does well, our builders do well. We contribute more into feeding programs, scholarship programs, and supporting their education. So for me, that's what sustainability means. It's not some tree-hugging, feel-good buzzword. It can be a real business, and I'll show you how we do it. Does the audio play from the computer? Okay, so I'm gonna narrate. I decided to create Bambike based off my work at the community development organization called Gawat Kalinga. This was back in 2007. So this is the original. Bambike for me was a way in which to create a for-purpose product that could involve community and natural resource management. This is my builder saying, Sir Brian helps. This is where he's one of the people, that's Ferdy. He's our first BAM builder. He was actually able to send his daughter to college, and she's graduated. She's the first ever college graduate out of the community ever. So for us, that's our way of helping break the cycle of poverty. It's really about investing in the community so that they can lift themselves up. So we started out there with 2 builders. Now we have 9 full-time builders, and then this is in our shop in Intramuros, which is just in the old city of Manila. So this is where he says he's able to send his daughter to college. She graduated and now has a teacher's license and is now teaching other people from their community. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but so the evolution of the tour happened because profitability in the beginning was a bit challenging. That was a turning point for us, where we had people now coming to us, paying us for test rides on our bikes. So this was in 2014. We really weren't making that much money. We founded the company in 2010, and it was kind of research and development, building our capacity, employing more people, but we weren't able to really grow the business. And it was at that point when I realized, okay, we need to do something else. We need to get people to come to us, and tourism, ecotourism is, what people pay for. And normally we would pay to be at trade shows, to try and push our product in front of people. This way, by doing ecotourism, we turned that around, and people started to come to us and look to do our experience. So So this is the community. This is the people part. These are our guys that make all the magic happen. This is Josh. Josh is over there somewhere. There, over there, yeah. Josh is manning up our operations and supply chain. Josh keeps everybody doing the right thing. We got Reggie back there. He was my first Manila-based team member. So it's these guys that keep everybody working together. So these are really the motivational, things that keep us going to help them contribute to helping their own families. So really the idea is to empower them, bringing skills, materials, and energy into a community so that they can work there. Before, they were working as pedicab drivers, farmers. One guy was a part-time welder. They had no job security to speak of. So by coming in and teaching them new skills and giving them full-time jobs, we were starting to turn that around. And that's part of why it was so hard to be profitable in the beginning, but a commitment that we made as a company to make sure that we have a real tangible change. So livelihood, it's more than just a job. A job is something that you show up to for a paycheck. Work is something you put into something you really believe. Livelihood is something that sustains you, your family, the community. We aim for livelihood. And the community are all of these kids. So part of what we do is plow back part of the proceeds of every bike sold, of every tour we do, into a feeding program, into a scholarship program, sponsoring the preschool teacher, so that our builders don't worry about if their kids are going to be able to go to school or have a snack, or if you're not safe and feeling that your family has everything that they need and your kid is going to be at school, you're not going to be a good employee. So we wanted to remove that from the equation. So we've seen these kids grow up. We've been there since 2009. It's been an amazing journey. So the education part, I mentioned it. We have another guy who was a college graduate who now works with us in Manila. And he's kind of keeping the office in line together. He's earning, a bigger salary because he's based here, and he's being able to support his family back in the community as well. And dreaming about something bigger for yourself in the future is a luxury that a lot of people don't have. A lot of people worry about, where am I going to sleep? Am I going to eat a proper meal? Can I maybe find a job for today? Who knows about tomorrow? Uplifting kids to the point where they can dream bigger about things in their future, thinking, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a doctor, I want to work on anything you might want, besides like survival mode. That is a key threshold to cross. So working on getting kids to dream and play and have fun and know that they're going to have a meal at the end of the day, like, that's pretty simple, but it's really important. So working on uplifting the spirits of everybody is something that we build into the company. This is my mom and my brother. They're testing out the first beach cruiser. They're my support system. They're part of the reason my van bike was able to get started. So I have to give them a shout out. They were test riding the early Lake Tossing Code model. But we do have pretty hardcore bikes. This is a mountain bike. We call it the luntian. In deep Tagalog, that means green. Luntian. We also have a cocktail at my bar called luntian, which uses malunggay powder. It's our healthy cocktail. And if you guys are around, ask Kathy where it is. She knows, right? Batala bar. This is another version of it. So we've been incorporating engineered bamboo and manipulating the bamboo so that it has a more higher value aesthetic and functional purpose. Next. So we were also approached by a guy, he's ex-Special Forces from the UK, and he wanted to do the highest Amazon.com delivery on the planet. This is in the Indian Himalayas, and he took Kindle e-readers loaded with books for education up to an orphanage. And he rode our van bike up. You can see this is the second highest pass in the world. He kept going and went to the highest school and did the highest ever Amazon.com delivery on a BAM bike. So they're strong. They're not just ornamental bikes. We build certified international grade products. Some road bikes, race bikes, single speeds. Is anyone here a bike rider? Yeah? Does anyone here not know how to ride a bike? We can teach you, we teach people. Some people buy our bikes as art. Literally, they frame them on the walls, which we were pretty happy about when we saw that from one of our customers. Next. And we're always trying to push the designs. We were very lucky that years ago, we were able to get Barack Obama a BAM bike. And then from then on, we had the Prime Minister of France get a BAM bike, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, the President of Indonesia, the Sultan of Brunei and his prince and princesses. We've had a number of diplomats and people get our bikes from our former president, which was a really amazing signal from the market and from our country that they wanted to support something that really was based on values and our people, planet, progress, triple bottom line. So that was validation in a way that we were working on the right thing. We work with internationally renowned designers. This one we call the BAM bowl. It's with, you can see it looks like a toro. So we're always trying to push the limits on designs. This one looks kind of like a praying mantis, I don't know. But using the engineered bamboo to push the envelope. This is our super cute bambino. Do we have somebody from Italy here? No? Half Italian? Yeah, you know how to ride a bike. I have some embarrassing videos of you, but I didn't include them on the presentation. If you want to see the videos of the other Miss Earth girls, come talk to me later. Apple the App from the Black Eyed Peas. He's riding our badass, fat bikes. And then we've got the Fat Cruiser with the professional volleyball players. And then these are the kids in the community. They test everything that we make, jump on it and put it through the ringer. This is another version for tourism in Intramuros where we have our shop. We work with some companies that do urban delivery for food so that they can have a more eco-friendly delivery option. So we built a little BAM box on the back of the BAM bike so that you can get your BAM burrito. And this is our BAM barbecue. It's a new business entity we're working on, kind of like a mobile street cart, food, food to go. We're going to be barbecuing local food and serving local craft beer, and we're going to be testing this out pretty soon. This is a cargo trailer that I built to bring around my bamboo because it doesn't fit in the car. So, utility cargo. We're working on scalability. Sustainability doesn't work as a business if you don't have a business and generate enough revenue. Part of that for us has been a challenge because bamboo is naturally variable. No two poles of bamboo are the same. And that makes it very hard to scale. So that's why some of the designs you've seen have been using engineered bamboo. And by engineered bamboo, I mean laminated. So we break it apart and we stick it back together so that it's uniform and perfect in the shapes that we want. This is something that we're working on so that we can bolt the bikes together as opposed to having them wrapped, and we use standardized poles. So next slide, you can see some of our experiments with this. We're using the engineered bamboo in a bolt together clamp system for different designs. But we believe that this type of evolution in our manufacturing will enable us to create bigger impact in the market, sell more products, and ultimately create more jobs that then help more communities. This is the Bambino bolt together. And we're using some new technology, augmented reality. So you can see Josh here looking at the real bike but then there's a virtual one in 3D next to them. And then eventually, you'll be able to, on your phone, see 3D animation on how to assemble the bike. So BYOB, like build your own Bambino with your kid. Kathy, will be for you and your baby. Bambino. Shameless plugs. So here they are in action. We set up Bambino parks for kids to go around. It's a lot of fun seeing these kids. So it's balance bike. We actually have them with no pedals, so that any of you adults who are learning to ride bikes, don't be shy, but when we teach you, like the kids' bikes, you just remove the pedals. And then you kind of scoot around on the bike, and then as you learn to glide, balance is absorbed from the universe. And then you can push your way, and then once you put the pedals back on, after you're comfortable gliding, then you know how to ride a bike. Anyone who tries to like over-teach you and hold you and scream you, pedal, 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 that's the wrong way. We're working with some other manufacturers on how we can do mass production. Still a work in progress. These are some prototypes. Another one. So they look good, but scalability, we're working on it. This is an electric bike. I believe a lot of people don't like to sweat and they want to go further. And most people are lazy, so let's be real, let's put an engine on a bamboo bike. This sounds awesome. We've built a couple of prototypes. Here's an electric mountain bike. Next. And here's an electric motorcycle. So, you know, the possibilities are endless. We don't want people, you know, people feel, oh, I don't want to ride a bike. It's like, oh, it's cheap, or maybe he doesn't have any money. I mean, come on. So here's our courtyard where we do bike eco tours. So we run 4 tours every day from this location, 7 days a week. Our shop is just here in the corner, but every tour starts here in this beautiful courtyard in the old historic city of Manila. I think we have the video. Oh, the video will play. I'll entertain you. So we have bamboo sunglasses. It wasn't so formal, so I didn't put on my bamboo bow tie, but we have the community make bamboo bow ties as well. Panda socks, because pandas love bamboo. Here we go. So you can get a look at what riding around Intramuros is like. That's my dog, Sombra. She's a Labradoodle. So she used to go around in a little bag, but then she got too big, so I had to build her a trailer. And then all of the kids, of course, jump on the trailer when you like. So these guys are just saying how much fun they had and how you should try bike eco tours too. We didn't hire them. They really said it on their own. So that is an invitation. I know some of you are staying longer than the time of the events, so if you can, join us. We have multiple tours. You can just check out Bambike on Facebook and get all of the info. Bambike.com has the links to all of our pages. And I think I'm wearing the same socks there. You gotta be on brand, right? So yeah, since we started doing the tours, it was really a turning point for the company. The numbers we're about to show you are maybe a little dated, but more or less to give you a picture. We've taken thousands of people out on our tours, sharing with them the story about Bambike, but then also the cultural history. We do mural art in the streets. We take people on neighborhood tours of the hip places to go, have drinks and restaurants to eat. People from over 70 different countries. How many countries do we have represented here now? 90. Oh, we gotta get you all on a Bambike tour. Let me change that number. So yeah, we've created jobs beyond our immediate employees, the farmers that we work with, the bamboo supply chain that's part of it. yeah, so it's been really amazing, and for me, this is one of the most important numbers. Smallest, the most important, because now the kids in our community all want to and will go to college if it's what they dream about. So we've been very happy with the responses from our guests. 3 years in a row, we've been TripAdvisor Certificate of Excellence, and are among the top activities to do in Manila. The Newsweek from the UK ranked us as one of the top 100 eco-activities in the world. And after establishing that tour, it got us pushed out a little further, and I wanted to investigate a little more with the indigenous people and the tribes and find out how we can leverage our success to spread it further. So we were invited to go into this indigenous tribal community with the Dumaga in Angat Dam. Angat Dam is basically the watershed that provides all of Metro Manila with its water. It's a big forest reserve. And these are the indigenous people. So if you look, they're actually cooking tilapia. There's 5 tilapia fish inside this bamboo. They've got, I believe, rice and water in another stalk of bamboo here. And then they're actually burning the bamboo to cook the food. So sometimes when people think about how to help communities, they have the solution before they even get to know the community. Our approach is a bit different. We pretend we know nothing, and we want to get to know them. And then we see, wow, you guys are using bamboo. You guys have these innovative techniques. This is really cool. This is something that we can help you celebrate more, and maybe sell this as a tour to other people, and you can teach us. So, really great to see how people have been using bamboo for so long, and how we can now try and figure out how to incorporate it into sustainable livelihood development with them. So you'll see a little video of this area. We were able to bring my friend who has a drone, and beautiful, beautiful location. This is Angat Dam. It's about a 2-hour drive from Manila here. And this is our first real interaction with the kids of the community. And the bikes that we brought were all too big, but they were super gung-ho and had to get on them and try them. So the idea here is that we are working with the community to train them how to be tour guides, to develop a package that can be sold, and then we plow the proceeds from the tours back into the community. And we were really lucky because we were invited to go to the National Indigenous Peoples Day. And they invited us as their guests of honor, and they put on these performances of their tribal dances. Super cool. So part of what we're doing is, you know, sharing these experiences with our guests. So that's the hydroelectric dam, so it's providing water and clean energy for the community. But the problem is the indigenous people have no power, and they have no access to fresh water, which is a real crazy idea, right? They're the stewards of the forest, but they're so disenfranchised. They don't have the capacity to really serve themselves, let alone protect the whole environment. So, an interesting idea about working with these communities to, they harvest bamboo, and then they sell it raw, just as a stick, for agricultural support. So, if you're gonna grow eggplant, you put a bamboo in the ground so it can grow and support it. But they're selling it at about 1 peso per pole. So they have to go into the mountains, harvest the bamboo, bring it up, and then 1 peso per pole. And then a trader buys it, sells it to the farmer for maybe 10 pesos per pole. We are working with them to create a rocking chair, or even something as simple as a keychain. And we'll pay them 3 pesos per keychain, and you can make 100 keychains per pole. Right there, you've got 300 pesos versus 1 peso. It's jobs, it's labor, but you use less bamboo, you protect the forest, they earn more. So it's about adding value. It's always about how can you add value to the situation. So here's a view from the view deck above. This is where we are in the photo, and then the tour is winding around the mountain, going down across the dam into the community, and we've got a couple of other locations where we're working with communities and developing projects. So here's an example of a Bambike ecotours going to Guimaras. Guimaras is famous for its mangoes. You guys like mangoes? Philippine mangoes are famous. So if you haven't had them yet, Guimaras is where we have the International Mango Research Institute. It's a global institute, based there. Best mangoes on the planet. We're working under windmills. So this is a project under a windmill farm, and we're going in to create Bambike ecotours down there. This was the concept of a Bambike playground where we kind of put together a little bamboo theme park for bikes. And now we're actually able to turn it into reality. So these are kind of our inspiration, the pegs of things that we're building. And so this is the actual, you can see here, it's satellite view, but this is the window. And then under it here, we're building the terrain features and the playground. So this will be launched by next month. I don't know if you guys are going to Guimaras, but if you do, we'll have an adventure for you. So we're building terrain features and things out of bamboo, again, to work with communities so that they can produce products, engineered bamboo boards, building materials, not cutting down trees, to create more value. So they look kind of like this. And this. And so we're doing tunnels and different sculptures so that it's fun, it's nice to walk around. Butanding. Who knows what butanding means? It's the biggest fish in the sea. Whale shark, actually. Whales are mammals, but the whale shark is the biggest fish. Sharks are fish. So that's a whale shark. We're going to be building a full-size bamboo tanding, bamboo whale shark that you bike in through its mouth and out its. We're working with a local sculptor that does big bamboo movie sets and kind of otherworldly set designs. So bamboo's a lot of fun too. And this is a practical, structural thing that we're getting involved in called the BAMBox. So BAMBox is an evolution of the products that we're developing, and it's a prefabricated engineered bamboo box. So if you know about shipping containers and how people are upcycling shipping containers, this is a similar concept with a modular BAMBox, but we're building that container out of engineered bamboo. So it can close up and lock down for shipping or for when you are done with business for the day, but then it pops open. And so it's got weather sensors, renewable energy, solar power, rainwater harvesting. It's prefabricated so it can be replicated and then deployed anywhere. So in the new locations where we're setting up Bambike ecotours, the idea is we can basically have ecotourism in a box. Pop it out, and then it's ready to go. So this is some of the building material. These are the bamboo slats. So again, engineered bamboo is you break the bamboo apart and then you stick it back together. And then this is bamboo that's stuck back together over and over again. And then you have structural beams. And I'll give you guys a brief view into my bedroom. But this is my bamboo bed. Next slide. This is my bedroom. So we're getting into crafting modular joints, and we're kind of experimenting on how to use bamboo for more and more things in a more contemporary design. Because you typically think of a bamboo furniture and it's kind of chunky, it all looks the same. So we're trying to have a more contemporary take. And then using bamboo and the BAMBox to create designs like this. So this is at Angat Dam, overlooking there is conceptual, but you get the idea. This is one of the newer designs that we're working on. So it's just an evolution of how to add more value to bamboo and how to replicate our business for scale to create more jobs. And we have a couple of discussions ongoing with our neighbors in the ASEAN. The dream is really to make it global. And maybe you guys could become ambassadors. So what we are working on in a number of different countries is having kind of champions that can help us vocalize the importance of bamboo, bicycles, sustainable livelihood, a more eco-friendly lifestyle. But then also, it's not some, oh, please listen to me to save the earth. It's, hey, we've got a real business that generates revenue. We can make money the right way. Profit with a purpose. So if this is something you're interested in, and you live in an area that has great tourism potential, we are working on a franchise manual and a partnership that we can then send you a bandbox and we can start doing business and we can start earning. So that's the real key. And something that we're not perfect at it yet, but we're getting there. Thanks. So this is in Mexico. I was just there for the World Bamboo Congress. This is my new partner, Diego. He is a bamboo bike builder as well. So even if your country is building bamboo bikes, which many are, most of them are not doing bamboo bike tourism. This guy built bamboo bikes. He's been doing it. Similar to me, young guy, loves bamboo, loves building bikes, but he never thought about doing the tourism side. And he doesn't have the website, the booking infrastructure, the social media management, all of that digital infrastructure. So we're now working with him. We just met the Mexican consulate. Is Mexico represented here? Yes. So maybe I can introduce you. You go on a bike ride. We went to the Museum of Anthropology. Eat a lot of tacos de barbacoa. You know? That was bamboo beer also, by the way. But so basically on bambike.com, we've got our online platform. We've got all of the different experiences. So it's a turnkey business, meaning once you partner with us, we set up Bambike Eco Tours Mexico City, and then it's there. You can book it, and it's, the infrastructure is there, so ready to go business. So next, we have got our mobile platform, so you can check on your phones, you can book your date, book your experience, all of this stuff that if you were to build your own business, this is like the headache stuff that Josh has to do. You don't need to have your own Josh or Reggie. You can just work with us as a partner. Anyway, so next, so we do social media management, all of the posts and everything that drive the traffic to the booking sites. You can see here, we won't go into too many details, but basically there's a significant amount of revenue per year that can be generated by a tour. So that's profit shared between the communities, the partners, the people actually doing the business, and us for managing it. But it's a real business that's capable of, keeping the eco-vision alive and spending money in your pocket. Next. So info@bambike.com is the email, where if you have a friend even that might be doing a tourism thing, so we're working in Myanmar, for example, with the guy who runs Yangon Food Tours. Is Myanmar here? No? Myanmar? Okay, well, for example, Myanmar, this guy runs Yangon Food Tours. He's now thinking, oh, bamboo bikes to do tourism, that seems cool, let's add it. But he doesn't have bikes, he doesn't have all of that stuff I just showed you. So, info@bambike.com is how you can let us know if you're interested. It's the Burr months in the Philippines. So this is kind of unrelated. I work in education as well, and I created a sustainability program. But we built a bamboo Christmas tree, which then had solar panels, which charged batteries, which then allowed it to light up. And then we also had 10 bambikes attached to pedal generators. So we would bike, and then the Christmas tree would light up and launch. So that was a lot of fun. And then this is the door to my bar, the Hola bar. So it's a 4-meter high bamboo door. And some of the furniture that we build and design with our engineered bamboo. So this is what you look for when you need that healthy cocktail. We've been able to get a little publicity there. Just really trying to make the bamboo lifestyle more accessible, eco-friendly, purchasing, more available. Next. Basically, it's mother company of this new project is called Philippine Artisan Trade, and it serves as a platform for other social enterprises to come in and sell their products on consignment in our shop. Because to go from product to market is one of the hardest things ever for an entrepreneur, let alone to be in a downtown area where you get foot traffic, where you can sell without having to pay money. So we let the products that have the same value systems as us come to us, show us what they have. We curate and say, these are the products we like and think they can sell. We put them on display and we sell. And then they can make money without having to put out additional money for store space. So here's an example. One of our group bookings, having drinks, enjoying. But then on the sides we've got handmade bags, clothes, mirrors, handicrafts, stuffed toys, scents, herbal things, and interior decor. And this is our bamboo furniture that we make. So it's all kind of a lifestyle. It's not, a sacrifice to be eco. It is actually aspirational if you do it the right way. And I think that's something that all of you need to keep in mind and think. It's not like we need to convince people to be eco. We just need to do it with style, right? So we also create a bamboo-infused coconut sap liquor. So Bambanog, on brand, of course. So in my bag, you always gotta make sure you stay well hydrated, just in case you need to purify some dirty water or something. But at 8:30 p.m. every night, because our address is 830 Arnaiz Avenue, we give away free shots of Bambanog because we believe it's the true spirit of the Philippines. We're spiritual. And we're working on some bigger projects with some architects using our engineered bamboo to create larger structures. So this is kind of my aspiration to do more building and construction next. So you can see, we're not really building this yet, but hopefully it gets funded. But these are the types of things that I want to get into, and these are my dreams, building more and more things that make eco-friendly living possible and sexy, make it attractive to do the right thing. So I'm gonna leave you with a quote from my great aunt. She passed away, but she lived a very full life. She got to 103 years old. She was the first and, She was the first Asian and first woman president of the United Nations World Environment Program back in the 70s. So she's been a huge inspiration my whole life. Her name is Helena Z. Benitez. And I used to live with her when I first moved here. So here's a photo of her. On her 100th birthday, she bought a BAM bike for herself to support BAM bike. I was so wow, this is amazing. So what's funny, this is the secret of the photo. So she's 100 years old. She has a nurse. The nurse's uniform matches the tablecloth that she's wearing. And really see, the better future that we dream of happening. And the saying that I came up with, that I truly believe, is that success is only real when shared. No matter how well somebody might do in business or whatever goals somebody might achieve, if they do them alone, or if they do them and they put people down to get up there, it's not the same as when you grow together and you really share that success. I modified this from my World Bamboo presentation in Mexico, so bear with me. These are the World Bamboo Ambassadors. I am one of the World Bamboo Ambassadors from the Philippines, so we hope that we can all, do good things together. Next. This is a photo of them and me feeding them bambanog out of the flask with a bamboo straw, of course. And so this is the photo from the other angle. To see how high we were, these little dots are trucks. So we were 33 stories up above. So dream big, lift your goals up, don't stop, contact us. At BAMBike on Instagram and Facebook, BAMBike Eco Tours as well, and my personal one is BAMBrian, on brand of course. And yeah, last. This is our team. So we started out with 2 employees. The team has grown. I'm very proud of the work that everybody does, and it's getting to be critical mass. We're working on that franchise, that partnership manual that will allow us to be able to work with people like you in your countries to replicate what we've done. So we're not quite there yet, but almost. So one of these days, who knows, maybe we can work together. And I leave you with this word, bamboo.
Thank you so much, Brian. I'll open the floor for some questions, if you have any. Yes, Ms. Carissa.
Hi. So I just wanted to start off by saying I have bamboo straw.
Nice.
But I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is the biggest challenge you face when it comes to convincing the community to use bamboo or to buy bamboo products?
By the community, do you mean the community where we're producing the products, or the community like our customers?
Our customers.
Okay, so the customers, I feel like nobody ever wants to be told what to do. Right? Like if you say, oh, you know, recycle because it's the right thing for the planet, people are kind of like, yeah. So for us, we wanted to make our eco alternative the better alternative. So our tour is not popular, I hope, because it's the eco tour, but because it's the fun tour, it's the engaging tour, it's the better tour than the other tour. Our bike, it functions just like a bike. We want people to, of course, appreciate the eco thing. We don't lead with that. We don't say, oh, be more eco-friendly, ride a bamboo bike. Isn't that pretty cool? Like, that looks different than any other bike. That bike sets a statement. That bike lets other people know you're eco-chic, right? So we try and make things sexy, fashionable. Like, it has to look good, it has to work well. It has to be eco-superior. You can't convince the market to do something unless it either beats it in price, in value, or story. And the story is a really strong one. Once you have some sort of brand recognition, or once you have a product that catches the eye, then you engage them with the story, because you've got their attention. That's an approach that can be applied to whatever your advocacies might be. Because if you're trying to push something on somebody, they're automatically going to have a defensive reaction. But if you pique their interest and you give them a little shimmer of bamboo bow tie, is that made out of bamboo? Oh yes, by the way, let me tell you about the community that made it. Then you got it. But if you're saying, oh, check this out, it's better than your whatever. Yeah, so I feel like it's a subtle, soft sell skill that is important.
All right, thank you.
All right. Miss Indonesia.
Hi. So I wanted to ask more in the business aspect. If there is some people think that having a more sustainable or organic or eco-friendly business is more expensive because the resources might be more expensive, and that's not like the best thing to have as an entrepreneur, right? So first of all, how did you convince yourself that this is a business that you want to pursue? And secondly, you also mentioned that it was hard at first to gain profit from this business. So would you do more of like a B2C or B2B first? And then how did you again decide to incorporate eco-tours as your marketing program?
So starting, I had learned about a bamboo bike project in Ghana. Is anyone from Ghana here? So Bernice from the Bamboo Bike Project in Ghana inspired me back in 2007. I learned about her project, and I thought that is so cool. We can do that in the Philippines. So I told my mom, I was really excited, and she was like, that is a terrible idea. Nobody rides bikes in the Philippines. My mom is Filipino. She's like, nobody's riding bikes in the Philippines, and bamboo, are you crazy? Like, sent you to school to do this? And that made me want to do it even more. I was like, I'm gonna prove you wrong. So part of it's hard-headedness and grit, because it was definitely not the easiest path for me starting this company. I had other options in other countries where I could have had a salary. Salaries are nice to a point, but I felt really deeply that bamboo bikes was the vehicle for change. This is my platform. This is something that opens up the conversation about sustainability in general. This is what I feel has a bit more sex factor than saying, oh, you know, watch your carbon footprint. You know, it's, oh, let's take a bike ride, let's have some fun. And then that starts the conversation. The other part of your question, where were you?
Was, at first, it was hard to get profit. So what was your marketing?
Right, so I invested all my money and everything. Up to this day, I'm still like plowing everything back into the company. At first, it's actually funny, I don't tell many people this, but my first job here in the Philippines was as a stuntman. So getting hanging off of a building was extreme, but not too far out there. But that got me into modeling and doing commercials. And it's funny because I lived a really extreme life, you know, on a ramp one day, and then in the community, like in the same day, I'd be like waking up, building with the community, and then at night I'd be like in the clubs with models. It was weird. But I was like, okay, this is my balance of extremes. And I used that experience to help market as well, to make eco more chic. So we got van bikes on the runways. I would always push designers, oh, can I ride my bike in your clothes down the ramp? And doing whatever I could to just get exposure. And that eventually got us into newspapers, that eventually got us some press, but that didn't always convert into sales. So it was at that point that I thought, okay, the tourism factor would take all of our inventory that's just sitting on the side waiting to be sold. So let's build that up and put it out in the streets and let people see it, kick the tires, ride it. And so that's how that really pushed forward and opened up the business for us.
All right, mustn't been called ever yet. Brian, you can choose the last question.
Who wants to ask me the question the most? Oh, South Africa, you're the only hand that raised further up.
So I noticed you do not change the color of the bamboo. It's obviously for natural reasons, but have you ever considered changing the color of the bike with natural colorings?
Yeah, I thought about it. It's a good idea. I've seen some other bamboo bike builders do it. We do a little bit of coloring through smoking. We build smoke chambers, burn rice hulls, and we get carbon dioxide impregnated into the bamboo, which gives it a nicer toasty color. But I didn't want to go too far away from its natural beauty. I feel like color, natural color is a good thing, whatever that color might be. So some bamboo is darker than others. I've thought in the future, you know, we can maybe play around with coloring the joints and different things. But one of the big challenges is, from a business perspective, if you pick colors, you then have to carry inventory of those colors, and then it becomes a big headache. And a big part of, you know, our challenge in the beginning was communicating to our builders what needs to be built, to make sure that that's built to spec. And this was before we put internet in their village, so this was text-based. And anytime we needed to send an image, it was, they had to go to a computer shop in the town, pay to load up the internet on the computer, check their email, and then the turnaround in communication might have been days. So now, at least, we put internet in the community and we gave them a tablet with photos. So we're using Slack and Facebook and different digital tools to communicate better, which has improved our quality control and communication We mostly just do customized colors and bells and whistles and things for the accessories.
All right, and that those of you who have more questions can always shoot him an email or send him a message in their social media sites. And at this point, I'd like to invite Fire Group to join us for a photo, please. And those who ask the questions as well. We'll invite Josh and Reggie as well to join the photo.
The question about the cost. So a bike like this one might be about $600. We have mountain bikes and they go up to $3,000. Depends on the components. Yes. Right, we try and make them, our challenge is the digital plaque, I like it.
Yeah, because no less waste.
Good, I can post it on Facebook easier.
Yeah. All right, thank you, ladies. Can we have those at the stage move? You can go back to your seats now. Can we have Brian on stage? No, you can stay where you are because we just want to see the bike. So can you please move the bike towards the center? You can stay where you are. That row will take photos with the bike. Yes. 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 Yes, behind the bike. All right.
Your team fire? Who likes fire, but not so much.
Right. I don't know how to put a twist on the band followers, but followers in Instagram. Band fans? Band babes. Reggie and Josh, you want to join the photo? We'll share the photos with you later on. I promise.
Josh is a shy guy.
Come on, come on. Both of you, both of you. Band boys. So once again, I hope that after the pageant, whatever happens, you'll find time to go to Intramuros and experience the band bike tours yourselves. All right? All right, thank you so much to the band bike team. Thank you so much, Brian. All right. At this point, before we proceed to our next activity, we shall have a short message from the Assistant Director of the Environment Management Bureau, where we are at right now. Our host for today for this environmental seminar, please welcome Engineer Visminda A. Osorio. Are you getting like an intellectual overload?
Director of the Environmental Management Bureau of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Engineer Ms. Linda A. Estrella.
Okay, Ms. Lorraine Shuck, the Executive Vice President of the Carousel Productions Incorporated. Ms. Catherine Ontalan Vital, the Director of Miss Earth Foundation. To all the beautiful girls who are vying for Miss Earth 2018 Beauty Pageant. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. So it is with great pleasure to welcome you all to the Miss Earth 2018 Environmental Seminar organized by Carousel Productions Incorporated. As we all know, all of you are ambassadors of the environment. You are the voice of the new generation. You are the voice of Mother Earth. Due to the impact of human activities to the environment, everyone shares the responsibility of protecting and serving it. As Miss Earth candidate, you have the power to influence and engage people to change behavior. As nowadays, protection and conservation of the environment is not only for the sole responsibility of the government. The government can only do so much. This is where the evolution of the phrase shared responsibility for the environment has came into existence. All sectors of society must coexist and must do his or her own share. So the environmental seminar organized by Carousel Productions Incorporated today is a platform which will surely create awareness of one of the global issues. It is use of plastics. We have today competent and professional speakers who will present to all of you the real picture of these issues. And I'm pretty sure after the presentation of this seminar, everyone will be more empowered to take action and voices will be heard everywhere. Finally, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources would like to extend its appreciation to the Carousel Productions Incorporated for organizing the environmental seminar for 2018 Miss Earth and for bringing in all the beautiful ladies here at the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. It has always been a pleasure working with you. And to end my message, let me share with you one of the best quotations from Jane Morris Goodall, an English anthropologist. She once said to quote, "You cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and have to decide what kind of difference you want to make." So with that, again, congratulations to all the beautiful ladies, and I hope that what you have learned from this seminar will always be in your heart. So with that, good afternoon and mabuhay po tayong lahat.
And on behalf of Carousel Productions Incorporated and these ladies, maraming salamat po sa patuloy na pagsuporta sa advocacy for the environment. Thank you so much, ma'am. right. Okay. So, as a custom for every environmental seminar we've been doing here in Miss Earth, we usually do a group activity and we are going to divide you into continents. Alright? So at this point we are going to do that before I flash the instructions. So, the grouping of continents are Asia with Oceania. Please take this table over here. Americas North. Yes, can you help me out with the groupings per continent? So Asia and Oceania, the first table. And then Americas, second table. Europe, Africa. This has to, sorry, please hold. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so Asia and Oceania, and then America will be grouped into North and Central, and then South America is a different group. But you can use one table. And then Africa, and then Eastern Europe, and Central and Western Europe are in the same group. Yes. Europe, Eastern Europe, and Central and Western Europe. There's the same here. Here and here. Oh, yeah, there's more Europe there. Okay, ladies, Europe should be divided into 2 more groups. So Central and Western Europe is one group, and Eastern Europe is another group. This is one. You can just share the table. This is, okay, the Americas should be divided into North and Central America on this side, and South America on that side. Asia and Oceania. Central and Western Europe, and Eastern Europe at the back. And then after this here, who needs more space? All right, what group is that? Is that Central Europe? Is that Central Europe? Oh, sorry. Eastern Europe? I think you're too crowded there. You want to transfer towards the last table? There's too many of you. Yes. Eastern Europe. Central and Western stays here. Eastern transfer to the other table. Alright, are we all settled in? So we're grouping the continents with us. Hi! Hi! Hello! I know you're all too excited to be with your fellow candidates in the same continent, but allow me to speak first, okay? Basically, we group you because we have that assumption that because we're in the same area, we have similar issues. More or less. We're not saying that we're all too similar. But more or less, we have the same systems in place. So at this point, we'd like you to meet amongst your group members and have a statement. We, as a continent,
Identify one pressing problem that you have in your continent right now in relation to climate change, and also putting some input on what you learned today on ecotourism and on the solid waste management. So identify a problem, propose a solution, and then we're going to report it later on. So, and then before you report later on, you have to come up with a group cheer. It doesn't have to be a full-blown song. It is just a cheer, okay? Per continent. And then you do the report, and then we close with another cheer. All right? So discuss among yourselves who's going to do the reporting, and then you're going to submit that statement to us at the end of the day. All right? Yes? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 groups. Central and Western Europe, where are you? All right. Eastern Europe. All right. Eastern Europe. So apparently you don't know which part of Europe you're in. So Eastern Europe is Czech Republic, Poland, Greece, Romania, Montenegro, Bosnia, Cyprus, Malta, Ukraine, Serbia, Belarus, Crimea, Hungary, Moldova, Russia, and Slovenia. It should be on this table. This is Eastern Europe, right? Yes, this is Eastern. So everyone I just mentioned earlier, please transfer to this table. Did I call Poland? No, you're here. Did I call you? No. Oh, yeah. Hungary, yes. Czech, yes. Okay, now it's more even. Alright, you can start talking among yourselves. For the Americas, you should be divided into South America and North Central America. So North Central America includes Haiti, Honduras, Panama, Cuba, Curacao, USA, Bahamas, Guatemala, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Belize, Canada, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Trinidad, and Tobago. That's it. The South American group is composed of Argentina, Bolivia, Venezuela, Brazil, Ecuador, Guyana, Paraguay, Chile, Colombia, and Peru. So discuss among yourselves the most pressing problem in your continent. Propose a doable, realistic solution. Then your cheer.
busog yun ah. Ano bro?
Thank you.
10 more minutes. Okay, can I have your attention very briefly? Ladies, can I have your attention? I will excuse myself in a few minutes because I do the evening newscast at 6 p.m. So I have to go and I'll turn you over to Princess. But I need you to listen because this is an activity that everyone will do beginning today. So earlier, we heard 2 talks about the plastic crisis. And now, of course, we have to do something about it. And this is what we're going to do. Does everyone have Instagram? Are you sure? Okay. So we will do a social media activity, which is our answer to the plastic crisis. Okay. So number 1, you have to take a photo of yourself of how you yourself is doing it. So, for example, I'm going to show you an exact example in the next slide, and then basically include a caption there that says, I have decided to break free from plastic by, for example, using a metal straw instead of the disposable ones. And then, number 2, tag Miss Earth. What is the correct hashtag of the Instagram account of Miss Earth? Just Miss Earth. Alright, just Miss Earth. And this is for your followers. So you begin that, so you enjoin your followers to do the same. And they have to tag you so that we can know who they are following. For example, my next example, of course, is for Miss Philippines. And then you shall include the hashtags Miss Earth Goes Plastic Free, hashtag Miss Earth Country 2018. So that's, for example, Miss USA, Miss Earth USA 2018. So that's for you. And then the hashtag Break Free from Plastic. So this is, you will begin this campaign for your followers, sorry. Okay, it's for your followers. So tell them, inform them that this activity is going on. And then, so since it's for your followers, 10 of the most creative shots or posts will receive a Miss Earth metal straw kit. So this is for them. And the Miss Earth candidate with the most number of followers in their circle will get metal straw kits as well. Alright, so most number of posts. You'll get your reward also. Do you understand? Yeah. Alright, next slide. Sorry. Alright, so basically this is an example. So I have decided to break free from plastic by bringing my own reusable bag. So this is the photo, and then I tag Miss Earth, and then I tag our Miss Philippines Celeste. So, and then I included the hashtag Miss Earth Goes Plastic Free and Miss Earth Philippines 2018. And the hashtag Miss Earth Goes Plastic Free. ¿Entiendes? Alright, so this activity will go on until we tell you we're going to stop it. It's better not to stop it. But yeah, so encourage your followers so they can get a little straw kit at the end of this activity. Alright? Ladies, it's been my honor and privilege to meet all of you. I hope you learned a lot, and good luck with your presentations in a bit. You have 10 more minutes to finalize your cheers and your reports. Alright? Thank you. Ready? And how are you with your group cheer? Okay, so I'll give you 5 more minutes to wrap everything up and then we present, okay? You can choose for one person to present and then everybody goes in the back, or everybody will present and talk. But you cannot have 30 minutes. You have, at the most, 5 minutes each. There is a prize. The first group who can be here to present will have the first group to eat dinner.
Kinarch mo yung ano mo, camera mo. One, three. 10. Pero na, no? Pero mas mahaba yung sa akin.
to sing? Huh? Ready? Okay. Alright. Now ladies, I know you guys are still working on your presentation, but I think time is up. Now let's have our attention to the North and Central America.
Alright, hi everyone. We represent North and Central America. One thing our countries have in common.
Let's wait for everyone to lend them their ears before we start talking. Okay? Alright, thank you everyone. Go ahead.
So one thing we realize our countries have in common is that we do not practice much recycling. So we will want the countries to implement policies, and each time someone does not recycle, they get a fine. We also want to put recycling bins that are easily accessible to everyone in the community, and also educate people about the benefits of recycling in each country. Ready, girls?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Separate the plastic to make the world fantastic. Separate the plastic to make the world fantastic.
That was it? Okay, so they have their cheer and their presentation all together. Thank you, ladies. Next up, we have Asia and the Pacific. Okay, so I think, ladies, we have to be clear that you have to present the problem and the solution. All right, ladies, let's give a round of applause for the Asia and the Pacific group.
Hi everyone. Hi. My group is getting ready. Okay, everyone? Yes. So yes, as we are here to talk about our environmental problems and solutions, so on a majority, the main problem of our countries is air pollution. Because of air pollution, as we all know.
It's so funny, every time I make that sign for them to stop talking, so they can stop talking, please be quiet. So you guys don't have to be quiet. Let's do that, okay? Somebody's sitting in front. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Earth.
Respect. Yes, so as I was talking about, the major problem of our country is, on an average, is air pollution. If you look at the list, we come under maybe second, third, fourth, fifth is maximum is from our countries. So air pollution not only hampers the environment, but it is actually hampering our health as well, being the lung cancer or being the infections that we get and which travels from one person to another. So air pollution has been one of the major problems of our country. And talking more about the problems, as we all know the problems, we are now focusing on the solutions. And some of the solutions are,
Okay, first of all, because our air pollution majority comes from the burning of fossil fuel. Therefore, we agree as a continent that our solution would be using renewable energy, which is unique to each of our country. For example, New Zealand, Australia, Tonga, and Samoa chose solar energy. Mine and some other countries with geothermal and then biomass as well. So that's our solution, but as well, we would also like to always incorporate the 5 R's in our solution. So let me say
a statement together. Let's renew our lives with renewable energy
because there is no planet B.
We're doing our channel. From Asia and Oceania. There's always these songs, right? You can't live with no air. That's true. Okay, so next up we have, are you girls ready? How about South America? They went, okay, so Central and West Europe. Respect for Central and West Europe as they present their environmental problem and solutions.
1, 2, 3. Europe goes plastic free. Europe goes plastic free.
The main problem which Europe is facing currently is plastic pollution. We believe that education is the most powerful tool we can use to change our future and for the children of our next generation. Cleanups are very important to our coastlines. Europe has now introduced sea bins in the ports to collect garbage from the oceans. This bin can hold 1.5 kilograms of rubbish. UNEP reports that every man puts into the ocean 730 tons of plastic. Nats Georg says that 5 tons of plastic bags are used every day. Every 2 minutes, a truckload of rubbish enters our oceans. 1 out of 200 bags are recycled in the UK. In Denmark, they have an initiative whereby they tax on water bottle purchases. They can be refunded, and when they're taken back to the supplier. Sorry, guys. We need to rethink our spending habits by breaking free from plastics. We need to be eco-warriors, earth warriors. We need to respect Mother Earth. Be fantastic, break free from plastic.
Okay, thank you so much, ladies from Central and West Europe. I was waiting for the cheer, but then they did it in the first part. Okay, now let's move on to... They're still practicing. Alright, one of my favorite groups when it comes to the environmental solutions and problems. They're always full of life. And I'm expecting them to do a chant again this time. Every year they do that. Our ladies from the Africas.
Mabuhay, Pilipinas, and my beautiful fellow contestants, greeting everyone. So we're in Africa, as you can see. is a continent that is rich in cultural diversities, and we also have natural resources. We also have ecotourism centers attracting both foreign and local tourists. But it is quite unfortunate. Ignorance, negligence, they don't even believe. A lot of them are not even aware of the effects of this plastic pollution. And then our beautiful country is just there. It's like the problem is so much that it makes me so sad, and which is one of the reasons why I'm here. Because this is a platform, and I'm going to use this platform to share my voice. So I'm going to hand over to Miss Ghana. So she's going to brief you on the program.
Hello, Mabuhay to everyone. And like she said, one of the biggest problems we are facing is lack of awareness and education about some of these environmental challenges. We think that for our continent, one of the biggest environmental issues we're facing is waste pollution, because it cuts across almost every country in Africa. I mean, I know that some countries are pretty clean, and some areas are pretty clean, but there's also some places that are very, very dirty because there's lack of awareness. People don't know what they are doing, they don't know the effects of what they are doing, they don't even know why they should do it the other way. And even in some parts of Africa, for example, Zambia was just telling us that in some parts of her country, men are not even supposed to be cleaning. So when you tell a man in Zambia to go to the beach and clean, you are just telling him to commit suicide. And some of these traditional beliefs and primitive ways are, should I say, molding whatever we are doing to make sure that our continent is as clean as possible. And this has a terrible effect on ecotourism, because people wouldn't want to go to certain places in Africa because they've heard that the place is not clean, or anything of that such. So yeah, so we think that it's a big problem, and my colleague Margot will help you with some solutions.
So we're getting to the positive part. As a continent, like Ms. Nigeria said, that we're focusing on getting a problem and getting an opportunity and a solution for that. So to partner up with NGOs and governments and to try and reduce the plastic as much as possible. The first talk we heard that the main solution is to reduce, instead of just trying to eat an elephant in huge chunks. So there's always a step one. Then for the government to engage on more environmental matters, to recycle the plants and boosting the economy as well. As you know that Africa is a third world continent as a whole. So we can create job opportunities that will also sustain the economy as well. So those are our solutions.
Thank you. And the phone back right now.
1, 2, 3, and it's time for Africa. Samina, mina, eh, waka, waka, eh, samina, mina, samina, say no to plastic. Samina, mina, eh, waka, waka, samina, mina, break free from plastic.
Thank you, ladies. You got it right. Say no to plastic. And our last, definitely not the least, Drew, from Eastern Europe. Give them a round of applause, please, ladies.
Now we can start.
Today the planet is on the edge. The ecological crisis is our reality, but we can change it. We can change it if everyone starts small, starts with himself. We are all here want to tell you about our opinion. Yeah, our opinion about problem which we want to discuss, because the issue of environmental pollution is one of the main reasons for our concern.
So, as Europe is called the oldest continent in the world, we want to be a good example for others how to preserve our Mother Earth the way it was at the beginning. We can do it in many ways. Like at the beginning, people start with the solutions like do this, do that. But we've learned today that it's not a good way to change things. So we should start from the reason and not to repair the problem. So the first thing we can do is to increase the quality of public transport. We believe that saying to people use public transport will not work. But if the quality of public transport will be good enough, then people will be more willing to use it instead of cars. Okay, next one is benefiting from the variety of our landscapes. Europe is very, very interesting because we have mountains, we have seas, lakes, upsides, downsides, and we should benefit from it. How? By shifting from unrenewable sources of energy to the renewable ones, like turbines, solar panels, and so on. Also, we should plant trees, because trees are the thing that neutralizes the bad effect of climate change and also air pollution.
So, this problem has no boundaries, and no matter where we live or which country we are citizens of, we are all inhabitants of the planet Earth. So, it's our problem, and we start
we should start to take care of it, we should start to repair it, we should start to educate each other, because if we start to educate each other, then we will know about the problem. If we know about the problem, we can start to think about the solution. Okay, that's all. Let's go to the cheer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies. That was Eastern Europe. Okay. Shall we do the judging? I'm the only person left. I can't do it. Oh, okay. See, I told you. I forgot about you already. All right. Now let's have the last group. This time they're really the last, not the one before. South America.
Hi, so we are South America, and our biggest problem is deforestation. We think nowadays it's one of the biggest problems that every country is facing. But in South America, we have the Amazon, which contains around 60% of the rainforest of the world. So they are really irreplaceable ecosystems, and they provide us so many goods and services important to life. And now Chile is going to explain which one of them.
The reason why we chose the Amazon is because it's shared by most of the countries in South America. And the fact is that the Amazon is one of the greatest carbon sources that is retained away from the atmosphere. So as we all know, the gases that produces the greenhouse gases, the greenhouse gases like dioxide carbon, it's retained in those trees in the Amazon. And it has been depleted like 20% of this, and this increases the global warming a lot. That's a problem that's for all of us. So besides that, it provides organic matter to the river that flows towards the sea. And as we may know, the main source of oxygen for the earth is in the sea, made by phytoplankton. So it's not the trees the problem, but the deforestation produces all of these causes, like the CO2 and the decrease in the oxygen in the atmosphere. So that's our main problem in South America. So now I'm going to introduce you to Guyana, who is going to say some ideas for a solution.
Hello. So, of course, the first solution would be to educate on how the decisions that we're making in terms of deforestation is impacting the environment, because we believe in order for people to really care, they must first understand what's really going on. Secondly, we could support governments that actually care about the environment and ones that are willing to put laws and policies in place to be against it. Ones that could find solutions and methods for development that aren't limited to our natural resources, and to have answers to the problem.
And to finalize, we would like to encourage you to choose wisely your governance, because that will define the path that your country is going to have for the time, maybe 5 or 4 years. So in that time, we can do so many things positive for the environment.
Who are we?
Who are we?
South America.
What do we want?
A great country.
Thank you, ladies. All right, now there you have it. Everyone had presented the problems and solutions, their environmental problems and solutions from each continent. Now, ladies, before we have our dinner, I know some of you have started already. I would like everyone to please stand and join me for a pledge. I think today, what have you learned most today? Huh? Plastic? What about plastic? Okay, Miss Lebanon.
Break free from plastic.
Okay, so if I'm first grade, what is break free from plastic? If I'm a child, I don't understand what break free is. I only know the song. I want to break free. Thank you, Miss Lebanon.
That would be starting out children and having to use reusable products, and now you're letting them have the opportunity to use plastics, and that'll help ingrain that habit into them early on.
Okay, so let's make our message simple. Can we say no to plastic, or reduce, reuse, recycle, respect? Do you want to say that? The ones behind your sashes? Okay, so the pledge will be, we, the women of Miss Earth 2018, To reuse? Or, okay, let's, help me out here, huh? Is that, are you okay with that? And you have to live with that every day. Yeah. Me too. It's a big task, right? Yes, but that's our job. We send the message out there to the whole world that we can save the earth. So let's do our pledge. Miss USA, help me out.
We the women of Miss Earth 2018
Let's do it again together.
We the women of Miss Earth 2018 pledge to reduce, recycle, and respect.
So what goes first? Who wants rethink in the back? Okay, go. Who wants reduce? Rethink, and then you can turn around. What do you have? No. Reduce? Reuse? Okay, go. Okay, reduce, recycle. Miss USA, you have recycle. Go on, please. You have respect, and then reuse for Miss Germany and Miss Nigeria. That's my beautiful friend, yes. Okay, do we have it? So let's do it again. Alright, let's go. We, the women of Miss Earth 2018, pledge to rethink, reuse, recycle, and respect. Okay, that's it. Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. Now you can proceed to the dinner.